I'm Ashley.
And I'm Mike.
And we're both students here at Valparaiso University.
And on the weekends, we like to have some fun.
One of the reasons I came to Valpo is because there's so much to do here.
Come on, we'll show you.
Valpo is in northwest Indiana in a city called, you guessed it,
Valparaiso. It's about an hour drive or train ride from Chicago. You wouldn't expect a Midwest school to be close to some of the best beaches in the country, but we're just south of Lake Michigan.
And from the beach, you can get to some amazing hiking on the Indiana dunes.
The dunes have tons of trails and miles of Lake Michigan coastline.
So whether you want to lay out in the sun all day like me,
or check out the cool views from the top of the dunes,
we're pretty sure the dunes will be your new favorite place.
The best part about Valpo is you don't have to go very far from campus to find something to do.
You know, going to one of Valparaiso's museums or theaters is a great way to discover some local culture.
Yeah, and we even have our own art museum right on campus. They have an amazing collection and their exhibits are always changing.
And don't forget, there's also the Memorial Opera House that puts on some awesome shows and students get huge discounts on tickets. Hey Mike, what are your favorite things to do on the weekends?
You know, I really like that there's so many places to hang out with friends or go on a date. And you can always go see the latest movie at the 49er Drive-In or the movie theater just down the road. How about you?
Well, Zayo Island has a lot of fun things to do. I went there last weekend and killed it on the mini golf course. They also have go-karts, arcade games, awesome pizza, and live music. And there's always something going on in downtown Valparaiso all year round.
Yeah, like have you gone ice skating at Central Park yet?
Of course.
So I know we've covered a lot, but we have so much more.
I say we go get some coffee.
Yes, please.
When exam time comes around,
or if you're just addicted to caffeine like me,
there are loads of cafes where you can go and get a cup of coffee or some food.
College students are hungry pretty much around the clock.
Just look at all these options.
Man, that pizza's making my mouth water.
I love sweets. Valpo Velvet has all kinds of flavors, and Designer Desserts has massive cupcakes.
Stacks is a go-to for me. Their weekly food and drink specials are insane. Like insane in a good way.
You know, on top of all of that, just being a Valpo student comes with some major perks.
You can get involved in things such as D1 athletics,
intramural sports,
on-campus concerts,
the performing arts,
volunteer opportunities,
faith communities.
All right, I think they get it.
But seriously, the list is endless.
And if all that isn't enough, all the excitement of the big city is still close by.
Just hop on the South Shore train and in no time, you're in Chicago. All of this and more is easy to get to from campus. Just take the V-Line bus to wherever you want to go.
Did we mention it's free for Valpo students?
Or you can always rent one of the zip cars on campus.
Well, that takes us to the end of our tour.
But you really need to come see all of this for yourself.
See you soon.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Valpo Esports here on Twitch. I'm your host, Gio. I'll be alone today for this Missouri Valley Conference Rocket League matchup against Bradley University. Get used to that name because I believe we also play them tomorrow in Smash Bros. So this is a team that the Rocket League program here at Valpo has had a lot of history with over the past few years, playing in the same divisions in NECC, obviously playing through the Missouri Valley Conference. And we got started a little early here today because we wanted to talk, or I guess I wanted to talk about, past results, what's been going on. So Monday, we were only able to come with you to you with one stream. It went a little bit faster than we expected. We'd kind of expected some of these games to kind of run into each other, but the Overwatch team moved to 2-1 in the Missouri Valley Conference, and that's, I think, tied for first place at the moment, if I am correct there. I haven't looked at the overall standings, but I believe the only team that has beat them also ended up losing. So, at 2-1, sitting in first place, the Smash Bros race, they had a rescheduled game, which also happened last night. Started at 5:30. It went all three games down to the last player for both teams. So it was a grueler. Unfortunately, we did end up losing that one to Murray State 2-1. Just down to the last player, last stock for each player there in that third game. Definitely play to take away from that. But tomorrow they'll be back and they should be on stream. I know if you want to go catch that action, Murray State Esports on Twitch. Murray State did stream that matchup, so the VOD, I believe, will be up for a while. But we'll have Smash action tomorrow with the regularly scheduled MVC stuff. And then Thursday, we should be coming to you with some Valorant against Illinois State, the team that actually won the Missouri Valley Conference last year for Valorant. So whole new team over there, I believe, for the most part. Maybe one returning player. So bit of a up in the air thing. But then outside of the Valley, our Valorant team did play on Monday as well, and it was a stomping out of them. They got their first ever program NECC win, and they won those games 13-2 and 13-2, I believe, according to Coach Bryce over there with the Valor. So riding that high into Thursday, really great stuff. And then Friday, we've got some other things going on. We'll have GLEC back, or actually, I believe GLEC is a bye for Overwatch, so they won't deal with that. As I know Blake alluded to all of those changes and hero things, so I think they'll avoid that for one more week. But the Academy Overwatch team, which probably won't be on stream, we'll have to deal with all that. They'll have a game. Keep an eye out on our socials for the results there. I'm not even sure who they play, but we'll probably be back with some Smash around 5 p.m. Central Time on Friday, just as our stream, since Overwatch also has a bye. But we'll take a look here real quick at the roster. We've got about 10 minutes, T-minus 10 minutes until game time, unless they get going a little early. 2 familiar faces, one a little newer if you're only watching Rocket League for the past couple of seasons here at Valpo. We've got Street Fair and Jake, who just won the NECC championship for Division 6. We actually got that trophy. I didn't bring it in here into the booth, which is unfortunate. I should have. I might grab that between break, or when I go to break here and before game 1 starts. But then CQ9, who you've probably seen plenty of on other games, and you're wondering to yourself, well, why is CQ9 on this roster? Well, CQ9 is the GOAT of Valpo Esports when it comes to filling in and being there with the team. They also have the Unlined Cone, who will be filling in. I'm not sure who's getting the start today. Typically, what we've seen is CQ9 kind of gets the start, but it could go either way. Expect Street Fair and Jank to be in there the entire time, and a little bit of a revolving door there at the third man position. But I think we're going to cut to a short break here as we wait for this best of 5 to get started. We're 8 minutes out now, and I'll go grab that trophy. We'll cut to break. We'll come back a little closer to it. I'll show you what the trophy they got looks like, and then hopefully we'll get into some good Rocket League. Don't go anywhere.
All right, so we're here in the Chapel of Resurrection.
And fun fact, the chapel here at Valpo is the largest collegiate chapel in the United States.
Wow. So here at Valpo, there's a lot of ways to worship. In fact, there's 8 ways to worship every week. We have 5 services Monday through Friday called morning prayer, where we take 20 minutes out of our morning.
And then on Wednesday nights, we have Celebrate, which is a student-led service, a little bit more contemporary. We have live music, and then our Pastor Jim and Deaconess Kristen give a little bit of a sermon. That's personally my favorite one. And then we have Sunday morning prayer, which is a traditional Lutheran service, and then we have Sunday candlelight at night, and that's singing hymns, and it's all done in candlelight, super beautiful service. You don't have to be Lutheran to come here, though. We are a very welcoming community. We accept people of all different faiths and backgrounds.
We have our giant organ here, which, believe it or not, has 5,500 pipes. Well, the fact that you need to use both your feet and then also play on 4 rows of keys, that in and of itself is pretty awesome.
It's not just used as a place of worship. There are tons of things that go on in here.
Yeah, so anything from opening convocation, where we're welcoming the freshmen into our community, to concerts.
Martin Luther King Day celebrations, awesome stuff goes on in here.
Right.
All right, as promised, I went and grabbed the Valparaiso University 2025 Fall Semester Rocket League Champions Division 6 Mid-East from the NECC. And not sure how well this will show up with the lights and everything. Maybe if we get a little closer. Now my hand's too similar color to the text. I think you could read that. But it's a glass trophy. It's, pretty similar size to my hand, so not too bad. We're running out of space, though. We win so many trophies, especially Rocket League as of late, that I need a bigger space to put the trophies. Now we're just waiting for the teams to get to the lobby. It's right at 7:30 here, so should hopefully be jumping over there. I don't really think I have anything else to show you. We already went there. I don't want to risk running another commercial. I'm just waiting for the invite. Yeah, I think, everyone's on the line. Hopefully they don't forget to invite me, because then we wouldn't be able to spectate, and that would be a bit of an issue. Couple quick reminders. Anyone out there, if you've got Amazon Prime, you can connect that to your Twitch account and subscribe to us. So if you're a parent watching at home, a subscription is a paid membership essentially, and we get a portion of that money, and it's completely free if you have an Amazon Prime account already. There we go. Just got the invite. So you can connect that with your Twitch, because Amazon does own. Amazon owns Twitch, and you can connect that, get that. You could subscribe to us for free. We get that. That goes back to the students, get their jerseys, get them book bags, travel to events, all sorts of things. And then this is something that I'm just going to we'll delay on that. We're going to have a big announcement soonish, I think. Probably in some form of video that will play on streams going forward. So keep an eye out for that. And we're in the lobby now. Is this only us? Oh. This is only us in the lobby, not the other school. I thought we were getting in there, but hopefully they join soon. Just because this one, our MVC games, this is a little bit of a later start, about an hour and a half after the default time that they're usually played at. One of our players had an interview, and there we go. We're jumping into the game. You can probably hear that. We'll just, I don't know who's on which side. Our scoreboard may be incorrect here at the beginning because the other team did not rename the teams, unfortunately. So it also won't say like Valparaiso won or whoever won. It appears my scoreboard is going to be wrong. So let me switch that real quick here and get you over to Rocket League before the game start. Oh no, stuff's popped up over here in front. All right, now we're into it. Valparaiso in the orange, Bradley in the blue. For Valparaiso, we've actually got the unlined cone today starting us off, which is different than the last strategy. We've got Jank and Street Fair as always. But on the side of Bradley, we've got Amex, Sadie, CRTO. I'm not even sure how that one's pronounced, and Tweeko. Definitely some history here from what I've heard. Good flick out of Jake's. Serto is what we're going with. Up very early, and that's a bang-on target. Just no one's going for Valpo. That's quite questionable because all three were right there. Street Fair, full boost, Jake, 75% online cone, and I mean, no one went for it. It had to be cone or Jank there. I think Street Fair was a little out of the picture at that point, but just some miscommunication early. You know, growing pains of a new team, sliding in a new member after so much success and so much chemistry built up between the three. Tweeko gonna have a pinch there. It'll bounce over cone, but a good pinch by Jank off the 50, and it will roll into the Bradley corner. Serto with a attempt from the corner, taking across the bat, but it's just gonna hand it over to Jank. Jank's touch is kind of towards the sidewall, allows Serto to get back to that early. Sadie up to the ceiling, has 30 boost, looks for the fake, not gonna be able to get anything there with Street Fair, so opts for a 50. Jank tries to go fast, Tweeko with the miss. Jank does not have the corner read, but this ball's kind of bouncing around. Unlined cone gets demoed, but I think the smoke screen allows Street Fair to put it into the back of the net. I actually thought Unlined Cone got the demo there. Not sure, or I thought Jank was involved. I thought Unlined Cone got the demo. But hey, tight game here in game number 1. A best of 5 is Missouri Valley Conference in the regular season. A little different than what you're probably used to. Serto up early to stop that from Jank, who had minimal boost. Street Fair just went by that in the corner screen and has to be careful because it leaves Unlined Cone to have to predict in the net and get a save there. And this is a little overcommit for Bradley. Street Fair, though, kind of with a bit of a panic. Jank does not have enough boost. Serto with a miss, maybe called off by Sadie, who collects with 100 boost, looking for a dribble. Tweeko should be first to this. Backflip, Street Fair gonna clear it away, but it's right to Serto. Valpo kind of just getting these opportunities handed to them, but throwing the ball straight up to Bradley. Good defense there by Jank to be up early for Sadie's touch. It kind of looks like it's a two-man game here. I was interested to see how the strategy would change for Valpo going forward, knowing that Street Fair and Jank are just not going to be able to play the same way that they did all fall with Master Sep, having this kind of revolving door, new teammates coming in. Going to be a big opportunity there for Bradley. Street Fair, though, with the clear, going to be collected by Sadie to the air. Doesn't have much boost to go off of this. May have a reset. It's not going to be too dangerous. Unlike Cone, not going to be able to make a touch, but Street Fair will have to save. Jank with a dribble opportunity, not going to be able to get onto it. Looking to hopefully just let it drop in front. Street Fair with a shot. It's going to be a little high, but a double commit for Bradley. That's what you need to win these if you're going to get the win as Valpo. Good dunk by Jank and looking to dribble that into the net. Not going to be able to get there. Street Fair with a miss, though, and Unlined Cone was already going for that. Being harassed now in the net, and Jank will... Did it just say Jank demoed himself? I don't even know what the thing's glitched, I think. But I think Jank actually found the demo. Good clear off the backboard by Street Fair. Serto cuts it down early, but it just falls right back to Street Fair, and this one might just fall in. Yeah, Sadie too far forward, and Valpo's got a lead here in game number 1. Serto was up early, but I mean, you just floated it right back to Street Fair. He's able to throw a lob on the net, and I think his team was expecting maybe a little bit of a better touch, maybe him to get another 50 there. But Valpo with a lead, a minute 43 left. Not an optimal kickoff. Tweeko's not going to be able to put a shot on, possibly faked, and there's just going to be a shot from Sadie. No one's ready for that. I don't think we're at the level yet where you have to respect that touch out of Tweeko going on target. Possibly if you're a little higher up in the Rocket League ladder, you can expect that to be a cent on target, but you got to be prepared that it could be fake. This one's going in Bradley's favor. Street Fair cuts it off early. Gonna have a shot opportunity, misses, but that'll throw Serto off. Sadie has plenty of boost. Will collect and flick over online cone. Jank knocks it down. Gets a little hung up on the wall. Gonna have to retreat. That shot's not gonna be on target, but Sadie is up really early, almost able to put that one into a dangerous position. Jank gonna take it from online code. Serto's just kind of been the man to sit at half field and knock the ball down. Probably identified that Valpo's having to play a really heavy two-man game right now. Good dribble there by Street Fair in the air, and good dunk here. Serto, no boost. Jank is up, it's missed, and online cone will just tap it in. No one touches the ball, and it falls right into his lap. Oh my gosh, Serto's got to make the touch there. Jank is just not in a scoreable position. I mean, that would have had to have been insanely pixel perfect and then bounce in if Jank was scoring that. So Valpo regains the lead with 59 seconds left remaining in game number 1. Huge dunk out of online cone. It's a race to the boost and the ball. Tweeko with the miss, Street Fair with the slot, and Valpo has a 2-goal lead. This looks like a completely different team, a team that's kind of talked out their roles, thought about it, you know, kind of maybe got out of those habits that they were relying with their third of Master 7, knowing that they got to just play a different game at the moment when it comes to online cone and CQ9 subbing in 53 seconds. That's the only benefit for Bradley right now. Going down 2 is that extra goal did not really burn much time. It took 6 seconds off the clock. That one's going to get knocked up high into the air. Online cone's just going to leave it for his team, relying in his 2 teammates to do what they're here to do. Good harassment by Street Fair in the corner. Not a great touch by Tweeko. Street Fair will find a demo. Sadie with a miss. Maybe leave it to Serto, but Serto does not have much boost, and Jank's going to cut that off. 30 seconds remaining here in game 1. Jank and Street Fair, though, right on top of each other. Need to be careful. Jank might get demoed. Gets a good 50. Not going to be able to get the boost, I don't think. No. But should be able to deal with this. There's not going to be anyone in the area to shoot the ball. Tweeko will collect the corner boost, but have to take it the entire distance. If there's 10 seconds, he's going to take it all the way, and it will be saved by Street Fair, and that should be enough, unless the shot is ripped in here by Bradley, and that's a good 50. And game number 1 will go in Valpo's favor, a 2-goal lead. Off of a game where they started down. If you're new to esports or Rocket League, the game does not end no matter the score when there's 0 seconds until the ball hits the floor. So that is why that one kept going, even though there was no time left on the clock for Bradley to tie that one up. It will continue going. I mean, that was a Street Fair masterclass. I know you guys don't see this, but 777 score, 3 goals, 1 assist, 3 saves, 5 shots. Valpo combined across the other 2 had 1 goal, 1 assist, 1 save, and 1 shot. Plenty of opportunities, though, for the side of Bradley. Just not able to really find the back of the net. They had more shots, which is very unlike Valpo to win a game where they're outshot by the opponent. They usually lose those ones. And sometimes they could look a little ugly. But great work out of them. Good job playing their roles. Kind of doing things a little differently than how they normally do. Getting into game 2, Valpo does have a 1-game lead here. Fully resets, though. Online cone beat to that kickoff, but Street Fair and Jake should have full boost. Sadie going to be able to knock that one down, but it's not in a dangerous spot. They just need to make sure they're communicating on the Valparaiso side. This ball's going to float in front of the net. A little dangerously for Bradley. Serto able to get there, but they've left online cone alone in defense. I'm not sure if Jake's going to be able to get back to this. Will do just enough, and it bounces off the bar. The miss, they're actually going to throw online cone off. But yeah, Valpo just went right back to what we saw a lot in that first doubleheader they had. Jank and Street Fair cannot be on the same spot of the field at the same time. And it's really difficult because it's very easy to end up there, especially if one of you gets beat. You have to play way more cautious, which is hard against some of these higher level teams. Street Fair, Jank will have full boost, but the possession is going to be in Bradley's favor. Good knockdown there. That 50 is going to float in front of the net. Someone from Valpo is probably going to need to make a touch. No one up for Bradley yet, but Serto's doing a great job of keeping this ball in. Saved by Jank, but there's no boost in the goal at the moment. That one's going to flow over on line cone. Valpo down too early in game number 2. Just need a little bit of a reset here. Struggling to get the ball out. You need a deep clear and allow yourself time to collect boost, because they're kind of just hitting the ball softly. It's falling maybe to the midfield, and Bradley's all over that. Jake's gonna have full boost and approaching the ball in the corner. Unline cone will knock it down, but it's gonna just fall to Tweeko. Good 50 by Street Fair. Jake puts it central. Street Fair does have a shot opportunity, not able to touch it. Sadie faked out as well. Jank has no boost, and Unline Cone may have just took that corner. No, he will not. Good flick there from Bradley. Gonna force a double commit out of Jank and Street Fair. Serto has it in the corner. 0 boost. Jank should be there first. Good fake by Bradley, but it actually ends up going down the field. Jank gonna steal their corner boost, kind of flailing around. Needs to be careful. Street Fair position too far up. Unline Cone's gonna be the only man to beat. This one's gonna hit the bar and pop out. Sadie's not gonna be able to put a shot on target, but the possession is still in Bradley's favor. Unline Cone with a pretty solid clear out. No one from Valpo is gonna be able to be there, and hopefully that's not in, because that is rough. That one just bounces up Unline Cone. Demo by Tweeko onto Jank. Sadie has full boost. Opts out to go for it. Sees Street Fair already up into the air. Tweeko collects. Gonna miss the ball though. Serto will rip a shot. I'm not sure that was in, but save awarded. Jank pinches it out. No one for Bradley there. This is now Valpo's time. They need to communicate and kind of reset. The pace is still pretty high at the moment, which doesn't typically favor them from what we've seen so far. Serto, though, going to just be able to collect and keep that ball in the Valpo half. Good clear by Unline Cone down. Sadie will have a pinch, but Jank should be there to deal with it. There's that big clear that Valpo needs to alleviate the pressure. They just need some big clears, force the mistakes out of Bradley. And oh, wow, that's an aggressive attempt out of Tweeko. That can typically go pretty bad. Serto's going to center that for Street Fair, who doesn't have a shot on target yet, but will steal away the corner boost. I would have liked to see Street Fair go up for that. I think he had that opportunity. Sadie, though, is going to have the redirect in, and that will be a 3-goal lead here in game number 2 for Bradley. You know, Tweeko definitely would have been beat to the ball by Street Fair there. I think you just have to commit for that one. You know Jank's back. You know you're not overcommitting at that point, which has been the major issue. Just kind of overcommitment from Valpo on the offensive half. Good kickoff by Jake. Street Fair will collect the corner boost. Will have the ball here. Gonna be the first one to it here. Serto's gonna look to just kind of knock it down. Not gonna be able to do much, but Jake and Street Fair kind of in the same area. Unline Cone has a 50 out, but it's just gonna pop out to the Bradley offense. Good stuff by Jank to get up early. Unline Cone gonna keep this one in the Bradley half. Serto collects, gonna throw it to Street Fair on the wall, knocks it back into the Bradley corner, but Tweeko has full boost. Tweeko demos Jank, which means there's probably not much of a threat here unless Street Fair can get something. Serto, though, gonna have the bump, and Unline Cone's also gonna get demoed. The pinch out knocked down by Jake, but it falls on to Tweeko. That ball's floating at the Valpo backboard. We'll have a clear into the corner, but this is what we've seen all of game 2. Valpo does not have a strong enough clear. They don't have enough boost to follow up with these weak clears, and it's just allowing Bradley to continuously play offense in this game 2. A minute 20 remaining, and Serto's chasing Dimos, just trying to be a harassment on Jank at the moment. It's kind of working out. That one goes into the corner. Unline Cone not going to be able to deal with the Street Fair, though, with a clear out. Jank with the pop up to just kind of keep the ball in the Bradley half. That one goes around Street Fair. Good bump by Jank. Will collect. Will be able to sort of get it around Serto. Tweeko will have a clear. It'll just go central, though. Street Fair pops one on the area of the net, not on target. Jank's going to have an opportunity to rip it there. Chose the fake, and it's not going to work. Sadie's going to have plenty of time with the ball here. Street Fair, though, collects the full boost, and Valpo's going to need something. They're going to need it fast. 40 seconds remaining in game number 2. Down 3 goals. It's hard to come by 3 goals in this amount of time, especially in 3v3, but that is an opportunity. Street Fair throws a central, not able to connect with Jank, and we're looking at a goal every 10 seconds here. And I just don't think it's going to be doable, unfortunately. Good job by Jank landing on that one. Street Fair not going to be ready for that one coming out. That will be a 4th goal in for Bradley. falls in the back of the net. And this one needs to just be talking about what went wrong in game number 2. And I think it's very easy to identify what the differences were between game 1 and 2. I think there was way too much overcommitment by Valpo into offense. They played a very defensive game, but a very calculated game number 1. And we saw Jank and Streetfair in a lot of the same positions. I'm not sure if that was due to communication or what it may be. Bradley trying to sneak a 5th one in here at the end of game 2. Not going to be able to do so. But this will tie up the series, so even though Valpo losing, it is still even here, and they might even put one in for the road. No, he gets pinched and it's saved there at the end. But I think there's definitely still potential for Valpo in this series, you know. They kind of went back to what we saw when they played Indiana State, when they played Evansville, and they got to identify that. It's going to be, can they identify the play style they used in game 1? They did all the right things. Jank allowed Streetfair to kind of play that forward position, and, you know, sometimes that's just how it is. Unline cone is just not to the skill level of everyone else in the lobby. It happens when you're playing these traditional athletic conferences. You've only got the players you've got, right? And only got the players inside your program. You can't go get someone. You're not getting a ranked teammate who's the same skill level or around the same level as you. You got to play with what you got, and you got to allow one of Jank or Streetfair to kind of do some of the heavier lifting on the defensive half, and that's what we saw in game 1. We saw Jank kind of being that person. Streetfair took over a little bit in game 1, but we're into game 3, all tied up, nothing too crazy here. There's going to be an opportunity there. Yeah, I don't think the respect has been needed yet out of Valpo on those skims. We haven't seen anyone from Bradley even make contact while going for those. Or I think we saw Sadie, but it wasn't that much of a scoreable position. Good clear by Jank to get this ball into the Bradley half. This is looking a lot better here. Double commit out of Bradley. This is where you're going to see Kim Valpo identify, and there's just miscommunication. That's going to leave the net wide open. Unline cone, going to hit it away from Jank. And that unfortunately provides a center pass. And they got to not let that get into their head. Because if they do, we're going to see a repeat of game number 2. They're going to start double committing, and it's not going to look pretty. It's only 30 seconds into the game. There's still so much time. Unfortunately, Valpo not going to be able to get the corner boost, but they will get the mid. No reset first. Serto. Jank first with this ball. Tweeko jumps up on it. It pinches out. Streetfair's going to have to get up earlier. This one's going to go in. Yeah, Serto was up early. No one from Valpo jumping. Playing reactionary instead of preventive defense there. Streetfair's got to be up for that right then. You can see he has just a little bit of boost. Got to try to get up early. Make Serto panic. Something. Relying on unline cone to make a reactionary save in the goal won't get it done, and this is just a bad kickoff for Valpo unless they wanted to get Jank the ball and let him attempt to take it the whole way, but he's just not going to have enough boost. Unline cone will get demoed, but able to throw that one into the Bradley corner, but Bradley's going to just try to park the bus and try to buy time. A fake by Sadie. This one should be unline cones, no problems. Yeah, Tweeko's not going to have this. This is an opportunity for Valpo. That's on target if they don't make a touch. Streetfair will have the save. Minimal boost, but will be first to the ball. Gets dunked by Tweeko. No one there for Bradley. Not really that dangerous, but they'll get the full boost. Jank's just not going to be able to get there. It awarded it to Tweeko. Streetfair does have boost. Will be up early. 2 gone for Valpo. Unline cone in the air. Will make a touch. It kind of just floats up. Jank gets the 100 boost. Looking to clear this one out. Good touch around 1. Serto knocks it down, but Streetfair, once again, too far forward for what they're working with at the moment because you don't have that third teammate you can rely on to play defense at as high of a level as you're expecting. And we're seeing it over and over again. Here's a good save by Streetfair. Serto's going to knock that down early. That shot not on target. Looking for a demo is Tweeko. Not too much boost across the board for Bradley. Going to go off the sidewall here, just looking for a dribble. Not much of a threat, but Valpo's just not securing their own back corner boost. Jake has about 50, unline cone with 50. They will make the save, but eventually it's going to start to get rough if they cannot collect boost. This should be a good 50 opportunity for Unline Cone. A bit of a touch by Serto throws everyone off. Tweeko able to recover greatly. Doesn't have the reset, I don't think. No, maybe he did. Chose not to use it, went around instead of attempting to put a shot on target up 2-0, which is pretty interesting. Also, no demos really coming out from Valpo. I think that would benefit them greatly, you know, removing a player. Street Fair jumping for a ball that was really, really high over the net there, and just kind of face planting. A bit of a double commit again, Online Code and Street Fair not on the same page, and they're going to have to get on the same page. Tweeko able to slot that one in. Jank no touch in the corner. Left Unline Cone, unfortunately, in a bit of a rough spot. Yeah, wow, that is just really unfortunate. The ball, or the Bradley players colliding there, and it worked in their favor. Sent the ball flying into the Valpo half. Unline Cone beat on the kickoff, but Jank should have boost, and the ball will beat one. Serto up early, and Street Fair is not going to be ready for that. And that one will fall in, and we'll see ourselves at a 4-goal deficit again for Valparaiso. Serto just up early, knocking that one down, and Sadie able to put it in the back of the net. About 2 minutes remaining. This game definitely not over, but I'm still not seeing the same things I saw in game number 1 out of Valpo. Street Fair up early. So is Jank, and they're going to throw that on target. Just not able to make it work, and that means there's going to be only one defender on defense. And yeah, Bradley's just going to be able to put it in. I don't know if they've considered this game lost when it was 4-0, 2 minutes, but that ball flies off Jank out central. A little unfortunate. 5-goal lead here in game number 3 for Valpo. Street Fair with a good kickoff. Unline Cone should be first to this ball. Neither player from either team going to be able to make contact there. Street Fair goes early. Sadie pops it on target. Jank should be able to collect. Not going to be able to hit it off the backboard, but Street Fair is there to make the touch, and there's the double commit by Valpo again. That's going to mean a ball is going to get floated on target of the net. This one now 6-0. Valpo just panicking on the goal line with a solid amount of boost across the board. Unfortunately, that allows Bradley to put another one in the net and extend this lead here in game number 3. I'm going to assume that this goal lead is a little too much to overcome. Tweeko with a heavy one into the backboard, actually going to psycho that in the wrong direction towards his own goal. Street Fair with a 50 in the corner. Jank has 100 boost. It'd be nice to see something go in if you're Valpo, and just kind of remember that you can do it. You know, you won game number 1. This isn't even the first game. That wasn't even the first game they've won all NBC season. They know it's possible. They just got to play a different play style than what they're using at the moment. It's rough, and it's hard to break thousands of hours of muscle memory and what you believe is right and do it all differently. And that'll be number 7 for Bradley here with 32 seconds remaining off of a demo from Tweeko. Expect this last 30 seconds to kind of run out. Miss on the kickoff by Bradley. Good bump by Street Fair. Jank is already up. Not able to put that one on target, unfortunately. Now, what a pinch. Is that just in? I mean, that's just insane. Because that was not an attempt at a Cuxer pinch. That was just it. So, yeah, that's the beautiful game design by Psionics. The wall is somehow not curved there. There's a lip. And it sent that ball flying into the net. 15 seconds here for game number 3 to be over. Bradley still trying to score. Instead of just kind of let this time run out, we'd be in game 3 here already, but that will be 0 seconds here. The ball just needs to hit the floor. And that'll be game 3 in Bradley's favor with a 2-1 series lead. over Valpo. You hope that the Valpo's coach Thomas is able to identify some of these issues that are coming in here and eliminate them. I don't think we're going to see a substitution of player for online Cone. I think Cone will play the entire game, no CQ or the entire series. I mean, no CQ9, but you just gotta see some changes somehow. We've got 4 saves out of Street Fair, but none of that seemed to be leading to any offense. So Valpo's going to have to identify how they can take defense into offense, have these fast break opportunities to get themselves in this and extend this to Game 5 in the series. Good kickoff by Street Fair. Jank going to be first to that. Going to also take the corner boost. Going to have a shot opportunity. Tweeko shuts it down. Street Fair with minimal boost. But you need to just put this in a position where Bradley can't clear into your half immediately. Unline Cone, not able to make a touch, but going to force one out of Valpo. Sadie up early. There's a demo. Going to have to go over Jank. Jank actually redirects that into the opposite corner, which is great. No boost still for Street Fair. Boost actually for Valpo across the board. Solo. Double commit there. Gonna get really jumbled up here. Street Fair luckily able to collect the corner. That one floats dangerously. Sadie with a shot opportunity, not able to put it in. Tweeko beats Jank. Unline Cone's on the backboard. Tweeko's not going to have any opportunity there. Unline Cone throws it out to the left. Jank should be first to this. Not going to go for it, actually. Plays a little more defensive. Makes the touch, goes to the backboard, has the clear out now. Looking to fall on this ball and get a 50. Unfortunately, it doesn't really do much. Valpo's still kind of stuck in their half at the moment. Street Fair with plenty of boost. Needs to get on that one quick. Jank will collect the corner. Good skim by Street Fair to alleviate some pressure. Good demo as well. This should be... no, Sadie is there at the midfield. Jank's just on the backboard waiting already. Forcing Bradley's hand. That's going to be a stalemate 50. Street Fair not going to be able to make a touch there. This one's just going to be rough. Valpo's going to have to communicate really well to get this one out. Street Fair with a pretty weak touch. Shot by Tweeko right at Jank, but I mean the onslaught's not going to stop there. Valpo's got to recover. Jank is on the backboard, going to get around Jank. Serto with the shot opportunity, not going to be able to find anything. Unline Cone with the touch there, gets bumped, going to be able to keep it going. Street Fair with the 50, it goes pretty neutral. That shot might be on target. I think it was. Jank going to have to make the save. Tweeko floats it at the backboard. Street Fair up early. Able to make that save, and somehow Valpo just playing some reactionary defense. That one's going to float over Tweeko, but probably called off by Serto because Tweeko has 100 boost. They're both up for Bradley, and Sadie's a little too far forward to make anything dangerous. Now Bradley's going to have to retreat into their own half. Jank has a decent amount of boost, probably has a reset here, will use it, but unfortunately it doesn't have much power. Street Fair up early, puts a weak shot on target. Nothing dangerous, but we're seeing Valpo float at the moment, and they're doing a much better job of communicating. Jank has played a majority of this game on the backboard, which is weird. But they've identified, we got to let Street Fair work. We got to let Street Fair get some of these awkward touches go early, and Unline Cone do his thing when the ball comes his way. But that's some good speed out of Jank. You need to see Valpo not commit, though. You got to be very selective with what you're going for here. This is a clear by Tweeko. Will collect the mid boost and have 100. Sadie pops it up to the backboard, but Jank should be there early. Will clear it out. Serto's going to meet him there in the air. No touch from either player. Street Fair, 0 boost. Kind of a bit of a panic. Going to have to scramble back here. Tweeko's just going to be able to put that in. Yeah, no reason to go up in the air for that. No one was there. You let that ball fall to you. Dribble it out, hopefully gain a flick, but much better showing here from Valpo in game number 4. Just got to make sure the mental boom does not happen. You stay a little more locked in. Not the best kickoff from Unline Cone. Street Fair and Jank will collect both quarter boosts, but Bradley should be pretty full across the board. Sadie beats one. A bit of a miss there from Tweeko. Leaves Jank in a rough situation, and then Street Fair falls into that one on the board. I need to see Jank or Street Fair to the backboard right now. We cannot give Bradley this much time and space. Street Fair with the touch, Jank with the second save. That ball bounces, unfortunately, and Street Fair is bumped. Unline Cone's not going to be able to take this to the backboard. Serto up early, but Jank going to have a great clear and a possible opportunity to fall on this one. Will fall on it. It is an orange trail, but it's going in Bradley's favor. Street Fair, good touch off the backboard. That'll send it out to about halfway. Gonna race to beat Serto to this ball. Not able to jump in time. Might have to just give some of those up, unfortunately. I think that one's around Jake. Street Fair somehow scrambles back. Jake clears it to the corner. Will have full boost. Serto should be first on this ball. Actually, by jumping off, it was 50-50, but it went in Bradley's favor. Sadie collects 60 boost on the takeoff. Has a reset there for sure. Jake gonna be able to clear it out though. Jake and Street Fair very close by. Street Fair will get the boost and the ball here. 45 seconds remaining. Valpo's going to have to find a goal to tie this series up. Sadie with a huge dunk, and Tweeko's just going to be able to tap that one around and put it in and extend this goal lead to 2 in game number 4 in this best of 5. Bradley at 2, Valparaiso at 1. So if Bradley holds on to this 2-goal lead at the end here, they will just win this series. Serto with the miss there, no boost. Sadie gonna pop it to the backboard. Jank not able to make a touch. Street Fair there with the 50. No one from Valpo's on this ball though. They're leaving so much time to be burnt off the clock. Serto kind of centers it. Sadie's there, but Street Fair will collect on the sidewall. Can't really go at the backboard because the player's there. Went reset, not able to get one. Jake tries to jump early, unline cone, not able to get that good bounce in Valpo's favor. Jank around 1, does have boost. Street Fair needs to go now. 5 seconds remaining. They got to find something on this opportunity here. Unline cone, not going to be able to get up for it. But that'll be no time left remaining. And that will be the series in Bradley's favor. Unfortunately for us, not going the way you hope it go, especially coming out early with that game 1 win in the lead. But definitely some potential there. Like I said last time, I think they looked overall better today than they did in either of their series last Tuesday. But definitely still some stuff that is going to need work done across the board. They'll unfortunately fall to 0-3, but I definitely think they could surprise some people here and take some games in the later half of this regular season. But that's going to be it for us here in the booth today. We will be back tomorrow with some Smash Bros at 6 p.m. I'm pretty sure it's against Bradley again. So hopefully that turns out a little better for us and we see a win for the Smash team. We'll be back Thursday at 6 p.m. with Valorant, and then Friday, I think 5 p.m. with Smash for our start, all in Central Time. Thank you all for tuning in, all the follows, comments, everything in the chat. We appreciate it. But that's it for us here tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.